To Suns latest. I am Rich Rubin. I got to see a little bit of the Suns' first preseason game in China against the Nets on Saturday morning or Friday morning? Saturday morning, because for some reason I was still awake. I was in Las Vegas. That's why I was still awake, but it was kind of a trip. We're going to get to that in just a few. Thank you for tuning in to Suns latest. Hit that subscribe button and tell your pals, especially your Suns fans pals, and let's keep this fun thing going. Quote of the day. Quote, I don't count my sit-ups. I only start counting when it starts hurting because they're the only ones that count. End quote, Muhammad Ali. I am noticing that some of the best quotes are from fighters. Fighters seem to, at least the ones that are a little more cerebral than just the brutes that go in there and I'm going to knock you out. Their quotes are amazing because I had a quote from Roy Jones. I've had quotes from Ali before. I've had quotes from Sugar Ray Robinson recently. So it seems like the guys who fight, the ones that are really successful, they're not just the baddest guy in the room. They're thinking about stuff. They're almost 10, 20 steps ahead of their opponent. I think at least the guys that have had a long fight career. Bruce Lee is going to be coming up with a quote soon. Chuck Norris as well. But I like that one. The only ones that count are the ones that hurt. It ain't gonna matter much unless it's hard. And that was one of the quotes from A League of Their Own. It's supposed to be hard. It's the hard that makes it great. You have to go through that. But I love that quote. And speaking of that, I need to start doing I have to get back on my sit-ups pretty soon. All right, so we have a little bit of news. I completely missed this. These are the kind of things that they become part of Suns lore, even though at the end of the day, it's like, who cares? But it signifies a shift, and it signifies what owner Matt Ishbia is doing. On the 2nd of this month, October, United Wholesale Mortgage, UWM, the #1 overall mortgage lender in America, announced a 10-year, nearly $115 million naming rights partnership, one of the largest in the NBA, to name the downtown Phoenix Arena after UWM's consumer-facing brand, Mortgage Matchup. So, Suns majority owner Matt Ishbia is the president and CEO of UWM. The Suns now play at Mortgage Matchup Center. The Suns now play at Mortgage Matchup Center. That is the name of the home of the Suns. And that's going to be it for a while, and clearly as long as Ishbia owns the Suns. So get used to it. All right, preseason, let's get to it. Suns beat Nets in overtime in Game 1 in China on Friday, 132-127. Trailed for most of the game, hung around, something play-by-play guys pay attention to as games progress. Jalen Green, Mark Williams, Kobe Bryant did not play again. My favorite stat, along with the Nets' Nick Claxton, Suns point guard Colin Gillespie had a game-high 9 rebounds, 6 of them offensive, to go along with 3 from 6 for the field, 2 for 4 from 3, 11 points, 2 assists off the bench. Way to go, Colin Gillespie. Jordan Goodwin led the Suns in scoring with 19 points off the bench, 5 of 10 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. He was everywhere. He was exactly the way you want Jordan Goodwin to be. He's showing that's like, yes, this is the guy that we should have probably hung on to and developed more. I have a feeling he's going to get a very fair shot this season. Confident ball hawk who can score when needed. Jordan Goodwin, not known as a scorer, 19 points, 50% on threes. Keep that up, kid. Book steady with 18, 8 for 9 on free throws, 5 steals and 5 assists, 44% from the field, 26% from 3. But already better from the line at 76%. Again, out-rebounded their opponent 47 to 43. Wasn't a pretty game, kind of gritty. And the Suns had to hang around and tough it out, down by 18 at one point. But this is huge for a young team to learn how to hang around and tough it out and play gritty and play dirty and out-rebound the other team. Incredibly important for the Suns going into the season. It's different now, might not be smooth, definitely not polished, but it's an identity. A gritty team that hangs around and out-rebounds the other team, that is an identity. That becomes your rep. And that forces team to adapt to how you play. And I don't care that they're young and that our oldest guy is 32-year-old Royce O'Neal. You go into games with that on the minds of the other team. That is a huge benefit. In 15 minutes, you saw how good Rasheer Fleming could be. Defensive instincts, couple of blocks. He's one of those guys who coaches will tell you his impact does not show up a whole lot in the box score, but he settled down in the second game. He looked a lot more confident, and it looks like he really wants to disrupt any offense that comes his way. So really good first game against the Nets. They lost to Brooklyn in China for the second game, but they only lost by 2 points. And they had a great first quarter, crap second quarter, great third quarter. Meh fourth quarter. But they still look pretty good. Shooting really sucked, though, at 43.8. Three-point shooting sucked at 34.2. But that is up from 26% the previous game. It's just the preseason. I don't need 42% from three right now. I'd like it. I don't need it. Free throws getting better each game. 78.3 from 70.76 the last game. And we talked about free throws in the very first game of the preseason. So kind of cool that they have immediately turned that around, like almost double the percentage. Lost the battle of the boards in the second game against the Nets, 43-35. That is dismal rebounding. We can't afford to do that ever, and that's one thing that I'm going to be a stickler about in the preseason as well. 5 rebounds each for Dunn, Oso, and Book. 28 assists. Book leading the way with 5. It's all right. As long as we're hovering around 30 to 32, that's good. Nice game for backup center Nick Richards off the bench. 16 minutes, 4 for 5, 5 rebounds, 11 points. A few nice alley-oops. Nick Richards looks a little bit more settled in. If that makes any sense. Just doesn't look like I just saw him a few games last year. It looked like, not like DeAndre Ayton lost, but just like, am I doing the right thing? This year already, it looks like he's playing differently and playing more confidently. He might be playing for a contract. You never know. He knows he's a backup, and he knows he's part of a lot of possible trade packages. Oso continues to improve. I'm loving his mobility and footwork. His court vision is good. He still needs to settle in a little bit. Excuse me, I might have to sneeze. Let's hold that in. Goodwin and Butler proving to be decent pickups. I would hate to be the one to cut either one. As of now, it looks like Goodwin has a slight edge. Jared Butler can score. Probably more of a scoring point guard as of now, but there's no question about it. Goodwin had another really good game. I really like Jordan Goodwin. Royce O'Neal steady as always. 3 out of 8, 1 for 4. 2 out of 2, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block in 22 minutes off the bench. Ryan Dunn shot selection improving. He was 1 for 4 from 3. He's not a strong three-point shooter. As long as he doesn't shoot more than 3 or 4 a game, I can live with him making 1 out of those. But going to the hoop for his offensive game, that seems to be a thing with him. I guarantee you Coach Ott is working with him on that aspect of his game. If you don't have an open shot, if you don't feel good about that 3, get to the hoop. Kobe Brea finally saw some action. Didn't do much, missed all 4 of his shots in 5 minutes. 5 minutes, go in there and shoot. I don't know about that. He might be too young to be able to pull that off right away. But so we got a split in China with the Nets. We still look like the better team than the Nets. I don't know what that's really saying. I don't know if the Nets are a team you want to compare yourselves to. They might be in the same spot as the Suns. A lot of new faces. Next preseason game is tomorrow, Tuesday, the 14th, in Phoenix at, say it with me, Mortgage Matchup Center. That is the new home of the Phoenix Suns as the LeBron-less and quite possibly the Luka-less Lakers come to town. Suns looking maybe a little bit better than we thought they might look in the preseason. We still don't know what kind of team they are. Oso has started all the preseason games. We were waiting for Mark Williams. We were waiting for Jalen Green. Kobe Brea got some game time. Suns kick off the regular season Wednesday, October 22nd at at Mortgage Matchup Center against the Sacramento Kings. All right, let's get to your comments. From Monkey Touch, Rasheer Fleming looks like he can play superb help defense. Yep. His length and athleticism make it look like he can cover 2 people at the same time. He will be a disruptor. Absolutely. Instinctive defensive player, wants to disrupt, wants to deny every shot. That wingspan, huge benefit to him. Mr. DeCasso, 9637. Just finished watching the game in China today, and wow, like I said, watch out for Jordan Goodwin. He's a great player. You can see greatness in Jordan Goodwin. You can really see it, especially that first game in China. If that guy can get you 10 points a game on close to 50% shooting, he will be a very, very valuable member to this team. A lot of us have talked about Jordan Goodwin getting in the right system, put his talents to use. What a really good game. As I said, it looks like Coach Ott is telling him, here's what I want you to do. I think Coach Ott is looking at the strengths of his young players and saying, focus on that, find that spot, do this thing in the lane. And it looks like they're getting it, and it's just going to be a matter of time. Curious Mind 2525. Hello, son. Hello, sir. Excuse me. Suns won. Slow start, but they stayed with it. Nets may still be in preseason mode, but they look like they wanted to play. Cam Thomas of the Nets looks pretty freaking good. Suns look like they took this game like it was regular season. Grit and determination showed. BYB Boxing. Cedric Sabalas was my favorite player. Loved when he won the dunk contest. Thank you to all who posted that the Suns won. Everybody, thank you for letting everybody know that the Suns won. Like some of you I know stayed up. Some of you loyal. Some of you who bleed purple and orange. Man. That is the coolest thing that a lot of you just, yeah, there's a lot of comments where it's like, hey, Suns won in case anybody wanted to know. So that was really cool that you did that. So thank you. Yeah, I love Cedric Sabalas too. Thomas Rocker, 3684. Suns could have drafted Giannis in 2013, but used the 5th pick overall on Alex Len. But to be fair, 14 other teams passed on Giannis as well. Yeah, nobody knew about Giannis coming out. Nobody knew about him. And he get like 13 points a game in his rookie year. He was very good. I don't think anybody thought he was going to be the freak. And we talked about Giannis in the last Suns latest, where it's a very good possibility he's going to leave the Nets within 2 years. It's the first time he ever mentioned another team, and that's pretty telling. Devin Booker from Dagoon R. Devin Booker gets no love from GMs or fans of other teams. Yeah, because they all love him. They all want him on their team. I said it before. He he really does not. But on the lowdown, every GM in the league, if it was known that Booker was made available, and I don't care if it's the Oklahoma City Thunder that are perfectly balanced and have great guards and have a shooting guard in Jalen Williams, I think really Devin Booker, every freaking team will line up and try to find a way to get Devin Booker on their team. So no, the outright love just isn't there. I don't know what it is. I think in 2022, when the Suns got smoked by Dallas by 40 points before the half was over, and it looked like they gave up, and Book and CP3 were injured, and they weren't saying anything, I think that left a stink on them. And I think that left a stink on Book and the eyes of other people. And remember, perception is a lot more powerful than truth. But the truth is Devin Booker is going to be top 5 this year, and you're all going to be, well, you're all going to have to stew in your hate if you outwardly don't like a guy like Devin Booker. Metallica, Giannis is the type you would have to gut your team to get. Been there, done that, no thanks. It's different. We wouldn't be gutting the team to get Giannis. We keep Booker. We keep a couple of our other parts. But you have Booker and Giannis. It's not Booker and KD. They don't play the same position. They're not going to screw up the other one's game. They're only going to complement it. I'm not saying Giannis is coming to us, and he's not. But I don't have a big problem gutting a lot of players on the Suns team. And remember, we have so many young players. So even if we gut a few of them, even if we get rid of a few of them, if that happens, we'd still be okay. I firmly believe that. But because it's different now, we gave up our core for Kevin Durant. We gave up proven guys that were really coming into their own, like the Twins. So we have no draft picks. We'd have to give up guys like Grayson. We might have to give up Royce O'Neal. I don't think we'd even have to give up him. We might have to give up like Rasheer Fleming and Oso, those types of guys, who I like, but it's Giannis. And he's got 5 years of top 2, top 3 player in the league type years left. So you just don't pass that up. You don't pass that up. Greek Freak is available, and if it's doable, you go get him. And any GM will tell you the same. Superstars are very rare in this league. You go get them. But don't freak out. He only wants to go to New York. So that's like the last on Giannis Antetokounmpo. I just thought it was interesting. And I'm not going to talk a ton about other players. But when somebody like that hints at, I might want to get out of here, you have to consider it. You have to consider it. That is the business of basketball. All right, let's get to the top 15 legend of the day. 6'4", 195-pound shooting guard out of USC, the 3rd greatest Phoenix Sun of all time. Number 44, Paul Westphal. Drafted by the Celtics as the 10th overall pick in 1972. And I would like to address the young heads. If you're a basketball fan, respect the young ones, respect the old ones, respect somebody that started liking a team this morning. If you're into hoops, then respect your fellow fan. Now, if somebody's talking out of their butt and is just instigating or trolling or being a moron, cool, call them out. But if you disagree with somebody, or if your initial reaction to a player that you didn't see, or you never heard of, or I don't know if that guy's going to be as good as the guy that's on my team right now. If that's your reaction to somebody saying this guy from 20, 30, 40 years ago was really good and can play in today's game, if that's your reaction, you're not welcome. You're not needed. Basketball has been going on for a lot longer than you were alive, and will be for a lot longer after you're gone. So when someone brings up a player from back in the day, pay attention. You might learn something. Anyone goes down the pathetic road of old head, you don't really know ball. He played against plumbers. Let's be really clear about something regarding Mr. Paul Westphal, who would have made current all-defensive selections cry and pee their pants, knowing that they had to face this badass of a basketball player. He was ahead of his time, fierce competitor, strong as a bull, and conditioned better than almost anyone. Total gritty gym rat who happened to be a superstar player. smarter than most coaches. And how do I know this? Because everyone who played against him, with him, or for him, or coached against him will tell you the same thing. And I tell you, the guy's word who was there, I'll take the guy's words who were there, who lived it before anybody who sits on a couch like you and I. Well, I don't think so. No. This is all gospel from the people who were there. So do not disagree about Paul Westphal being the third greatest Sun of all time, one of the most underrated superstars of all time, and one of the best things that ever happened to the Phoenix Suns. 3 years with Boston, won a title with them in his third year, traded to the Suns the next year in 75-76, and took an 8-year-old franchise all the way to the finals to face the team that had just traded him. Paul Westphal was so freaking good, he took 2 rookies and 2 journeymen to the NBA Finals and almost beat Dave Cowens, JoJo White, John Havlicek, and Don Nelson all by himself. He almost did it by himself. He almost outcoached Tommy Heinsohn all by himself. He's the reason that Game 5 went into a third overtime. He was a 3-time All-NBA first-team selection 3 years in a row and an All-Star in each of the 5 years he was with the Suns. 4 years he was with the Suns on his first go-around. Second-team All-NBA his last year with the Suns. In the 77 All-Star game, Westphal had 21 points, and the East never got their final shot off. Why? Because he stole the ball from the greatest ball handler of all time, Pistol Pete Maravich, passed it to his teammate, All-Star teammate Rick Barry, who ran out the clock, giving the West, who had been dominated by the much more powerful East, a 1-point win. Julius Erving, playing in his first NBA All-Star game, it was the year after the merger, so all these ABA guys who are now in the NBA made the All-Star team, had 30 for the East, and he got MVP for the losing team. Bob McAdoo had 30 for the losing team, but Julius Erving got the MVP. Westphal was MVP of that game, and everyone knew it. And I remember distinctly watching the post-game interview with Dr. J, and he was very quiet about it. And he was also a great guy, as well as me, and a great player. Dr. J was a really humble man and a great ambassador to the league, but he was very humble about his winning it. And he mentioned Paul Westphal in the interview, and he was subdued. And he had this great game. And he deserved MVP as well, but it's like Westy won the game, and isn't that the point? Westphal was MVP of that game, and everyone knew it. He was the best all-around player in the league for 5 years straight. No one can argue that. It's just that you forget about it because he didn't have the longest career. He was ambidextrous, so if you forced him right, he'd dunk on your head on it with his left. Westphal is as great as any Sun or any player I've ever had the privilege of seeing play live, and if you didn't see him live, I'm really not interested in your opinion of where he should be ranked. If you didn't see him live, if you didn't see all the old heads live, your opinion doesn't matter. You didn't see them live. And I will always stick to that, and you can criticize me all you want, but if you didn't see them live, it's the same thing. It's like if you just watch YouTube clips, you're just not going to get it. So you're going to have to trust the old heads on that one. Young men played for the Suns from 75 to 80 after a trade to the Celtics for Charlie Scott, our highest scorer and a 3-time All-Star. At the time, Westphal didn't even start for Boston. We traded our best player. Colangelo and McLeod probably looked like idiots to the rest of the league. That attitude changed immediately as Westy instantly became the Suns' leader. As he went, the Suns went, in the greatest game ever played, the triple overtime Game 5 in Boston Garden Finals. Westphal exploited a loophole in the rules that allowed the Suns to give up a point to get the ball at half court with 2 seconds remaining at the end of the second overtime, tied the game. Westphal thought of that, not Coach McLeod, not Tommy Heinsohn, not John Havlicek. Paul Westphal thought of that. Paul Westphal pretty much won that game. There's a lot of, we talked about the Richie Powers Celtics bias and that whole thing. Suns had that game. Suns win that game, up 3-2 going back to Phoenix. Suns would have won the finals that year. Westphal was the undisputed vocal and by example leader of the Suns. No one had a problem with that. Coach on the floor, always in the mix for leading the league in steals and assists, along with being the NBA 6th leading scorer in 1977 at 25.2 points per game, 7th in 78 at 24 points per game. It never averaged less than 20 points per game as a Sun. As Westphal was an improvisational, go-with-the-flow player, he constantly butted heads with X's and O's scientific approach to John McLeod. Finally led to the trade to Seattle for DJ. Dennis Johnson after the 80 season. And I'm paraphrasing the quote because I can't seem to find it, but it was a great quote from Westphal in a magazine that used to be published called Inside Sports after the DJ trade. Quote, Coach McLeod would be a great football coach. His approach is scientific. Football is science. Basketball is art. End quote. He immediately started having foot issues and stress fractures when he got to Seattle. He only played 36 games that year, and he was never the same player after that. So we got the best of Paul Westphal. Just didn't work out for him in the Sonics. hooks up with the Knicks, NBA Comeback Player of the Year in 1982 and 83. Started with the Knicks, along with Bernard King and former son Truck Robinson, and they had a nice little playoff run. Returns to the Suns the next year, retired as a Sun, took the 93 Barkley-led Suns to the finals against the Bulls. As the Suns coach and players loved him. Number 44, retired by the Suns. Ring of Honor, Basketball Hall of Fame. Diagnosed with brain cancer in 2020, passed away in 2021 at the age of 70 years old. Westy, legend. Paul Westphal is your Suns legend of the day. Next Suns preseason game against the Lakers, and that'll be tomorrow, and we'll talk about it on Wednesday. Thanks for watching Suns Latest. I'm Rich Rubin. Subscribe. Keep watching. Thank you so much.